Hey Bears fans, we're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Chicago Bears. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. That way, you'll always stay up to date with breaking news and exclusive content. Chicago is shaking right now, and it's all because of one name, Caleb Williams. The rookie quarterback who was supposed to be the face of the new Bears era has just shaken the very foundation of Hallis Hall without even realizing it. In the middle of what was supposed to be a promising rebuild around him, reports started flying that the team's top tight end has walked away. Yes, left the Bears organization. The reasons aren't fully clear yet, but insiders whisper it has everything to do with how Caleb is changing the culture inside that locker room. He's confident, he's vocal, and he's demanding, something Chicago hasn't seen in years. For some veterans, that energy is inspiring. For others, it's too much, too soon. Sources say the tension had been brewing for weeks, with heated exchanges during film sessions and even a few icy moments on the practice field. And now, it's exploded into a headline that no one expected this early in the season. A star tight and gone, walking out a system that was supposedly being built for Caleb to thrive. The city's in disbelief. The fans are divided, and the question echoing everywhere is simple. Did Caleb Williams push too hard, too fast? What's fascinating is how quickly this situation escalated. Just a few months ago, Caleb Williams was being praised as the savior of the franchise, the generational talent who could finally erase decades of quarterback misery in Chicago. The Bears had given him everything: offensive weapons, a revamped coaching staff, a fresh playbook designed to highlight his creativity. And at the center of that offensive design was the tight end who's now reportedly gone. The chemistry between them looked great during camp, with plenty of highlight clips showing their connection on and off the field. Fans were buying in, jerseys were flying off shelves, and for once, optimism felt real in the Windy City. But behind closed doors, there were whispers about personality clashes. Caleb's leadership style, some say, is intense, borderline confrontational. He's not the type to sugarcoat or play nice just for the cameras. And that kind of energy, while magnetic, can rub veterans the wrong way. The tight end, known for being outspoken himself, apparently didn't appreciate the rookie calling out teammates during a team meeting. From that point on, things reportedly spiraled until the relationship was beyond repair. It's wild how the NFL can turn into a soap opera overnight. One minute, you're building a dynasty, and the next, the headlines are tearing the locker room apart. People close to the team are suggesting that this departure might not just be about personal clashes, but also about power dynamics. Caleb Williams, for all his talent, is still a rookie, but the franchise has clearly handed him the keys. That kind of early empowerment can cause friction. Veterans who've paid their dues might see it as disrespect, especially if the kid is calling shots in meetings or changing plays on the fly. The tight end reportedly confronted Caleb during practice after one of those moments when the QB audibled to a different route. It wasn't the play call itself that caused the issue. It was the tone, the vibe. Teammates describe the atmosphere as tense but electric. Some say they respect Caleb's drive. Others think he's trying to act like a superstar before earning it. The Bears coaching staff, meanwhile, is walking a tightrope. They know this is Caleb's team now, but they also can't afford to lose more veteran voices this early in the project. From a broader perspective, this isn't just about one player leaving. It's about the seismic shift in leadership happening inside the Bears organization. Chicago has always been a team defined by defense, grit, and humility. But Caleb Williams brings Hollywood energy, the cameras, the charisma, the social media buzz. He's not shy about showing personality, and that's a culture shock for a franchise that's long preferred quiet toughness over flash. Some within the organization reportedly love it, believing that this is exactly what the Bears need: a face, a star, someone who can bring the franchise into the modern era. Others, though, feel it's too performative, too focused on image. The tight end's exit seems to symbolize that clash of eras, old school Bears versus the Caleb Williams generation. What's even more intriguing is that this might just be the first domino to fall. Insiders are whispering that other veterans are feeling unsettled, questioning whether they fit into this new version of Chicago football. The Bears might soon have to decide whether to back the old guard or go all in on Caleb's way of doing things. Now, imagine the fan reaction. Social media is a storm. Half of Chicago is rallying behind Caleb, saying it's about time someone with confidence and vision led this team. The other half thinks he's becoming too much of a celebrity, too focused on branding instead of building chemistry. And let's be honest, the timing couldn't be worse. The Bears are hovering around .500, every game a battle, every drive under scrutiny. The loss of a key offensive weapon could derail the rhythm, just as Caleb was starting to find his groove. But here's the twist. Some believe this could actually free him up. Without that tight and demanding targets or clashing over schemes, Caleb might finally be able to fully run the offense his way. Maybe this is the moment he truly takes ownership, proving he's not just a rookie sensation, but a leader capable of steering through chaos. One thing's certain, this situation has turned the Bears from a developing team into must-watch drama. Everyone's tuning in, waiting to see what happens next, and whether Caleb Williams can handle the storm he might have helped create. The question now becomes, what's next for the Bears locker room? Leadership voids can either destroy a team or forge it stronger. Caleb has the charisma and football IQ to lead, but leadership isn't just about calling plays. It's about earning trust. The tight end who left was reportedly close with several offensive linemen, meaning those relationships now hang in the balance. The front office, meanwhile, can't ignore the optics. Losing a veteran over internal tension sends a message, and if they don't control that narrative, it could define the season. There's talk that the coaching staff might hold a closed-door team meeting, letting players air everything out. Caleb's camp insists he's not the villain here, just a young leader demanding accountability. Still, perception matters. Around the league, this story's already trending, with analysts debating whether the Bears gave too much power too soon to their rookie phenom. Whatever the truth, one thing's undeniable. Caleb Williams has become the gravitational center of everything in Chicago, for better or worse. The Bears wanted a franchise changer, and now they have one. But change always comes with aftershocks. Behind the scenes, more details are starting to leak, and they paint a fascinating picture of a locker room in transition. According to people familiar with the situation, the tight end's decision to leave wasn't impulsive. It had been building for weeks, maybe even months. There were moments during practice when the tension was visible, the kind of awkward silence that spreads after a harsh word or a misconnection. Caleb Williams, ever the perfectionist, reportedly challenged the tight end after a dropped pass. Not in a cruel way, but with the kind of edge that comes from wanting excellence. For a veteran used to being one of the locker room's alpha voices, that challenge didn't sit well. From there, things grew chilly. Conversations became shorter, jokes disappeared, and eventually, the chemistry that once looked promising turned into something brittle. It's the sort of story that happens all the time in sports, but because it involves Caleb, the new golden boy of Chicago, it explodes into something bigger. Every whisper turns into a headline. Every sidelong glance becomes a narrative. The Bears wanted a leader who would change everything. Now, they're realizing change can be uncomfortable. There's also the matter of how the coaching staff handled all this. Matt Eberflus and his team were put in a nearly impossible position. Support their young quarterback's fiery leadership or protect the delicate balance of veteran chemistry. It's a classic NFL conundrum. Coaches always say they want players who hold others accountable. But when that accountability comes from a 22-year-old rookie, the dynamic gets complicated. Sources close to the team suggest that some assistant coaches actually warned the front office about potential locker room tension early in the offseason. They'd noticed Caleb's confidence could occasionally cross into confrontation, not out of arrogance, but intensity. And when that meets the pride of seasoned players, sparks fly. In hindsight, maybe the Bears should have stepped in sooner, mediated before things reached this point. But the organization was also caught up in the hype, the idea that Caleb Williams could be the next Mahomes, the next Burrow, the kind of generational leader who changes everything overnight. Instead, they might have underestimated the growing pains that come with that transformation. In many ways, this story feels bigger than football. It's about generational change, about how modern athletes carry themselves, and how traditional franchises react. Caleb Williams represents the new wave, unapologetically confident, deeply aware of his brand, and unwilling to conform to outdated locker room hierarchies. The tight end who left represents the old-school mindset. Earn your stripes, keep your head down, let your play do the talking. When those two philosophies collide, something has to give. This is happening across the league. Young stars entering with the power of social media, sponsorships, and massive expectations. Teams are learning in real time how to balance authenticity with unity. For the Bears, this might be a painful but necessary evolution. Chicago has long been defined by tradition, but traditions can turn into limitations. Caleb's presence forces everyone, from players to executives, to reconsider what leadership looks like in 2025. And maybe that's why, despite the chaos, some insiders believe this could ultimately make the Bears stronger. Still, the optics are messy. Losing a tight end, especially one considered a key safety valve for a rookie quarterback, doesn't inspire confidence. Opposing teams will pounce on the narrative, trying to test the Bears' mental toughness. Caleb's every move will now be magnified, every sideline expression dissected. But here's where legends are made. Great quarterbacks aren't defined by how they play when everything's perfect. They're defined by how they respond when the walls start closing in. If Caleb can rally his teammates, if he can turn this story from division into motivation, he'll take a massive step toward proving he's more than hype. Teammates reportedly still respect his talent. No one questions his work ethic or football IQ. What remains to be seen is whether they'll buy into his leadership style now that it's under scrutiny. If they do, this could be the start of something powerful. If not, the Bears risk becoming another what-if story in a franchise history already filled with them. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Meanwhile, fans are losing their minds online. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, it's all Caleb all the time. Some clips show him encouraging teammates during drills. Others show those tense sideline moments that fuel speculation. Every frame is being analyzed, debated, turned into content. It's almost cinematic, the young prodigy under pressure, the city split between love and skepticism. In a strange way, this controversy is making the Bears relevant again in a way they haven't been in years. National media can't stop talking about them. And even critics admit, Caleb Williams makes things interesting. That's the paradox of stardom. Chaos and attention often travel together. Whether he meant to or not, Caleb has become the main character in Chicago's sports drama. The challenge now is writing the next act in a way that ends with victory, not regret. Because for all the noise, what fans truly care about is simple wins. And winning cures everything, from locker room tension to media storms. If there's a silver lining in all this, it's that moments like these reveal true character. For Caleb, for the Bears, for everyone involved. The tight end's departure might sting now, but it forces the team to confront uncomfortable truths early rather than later. Caleb Williams is not just a quarterback. He's a catalyst. He's pushing the Bears toward a new identity, one that might alienate some but inspire many. It's messy, it's emotional, it's unpredictable, but that's what growth looks like. Chicago has spent years waiting for something to believe in, and now that they finally have it, they're realizing belief comes with turbulence. Maybe that's okay. Maybe this is how dynasties start, with friction, with passion, with one young leader daring to demand more. Whether Caleb Williams ends up being the hero or the villain of this chapter depends on what happens next Sunday, next drive, next throw. But one thing's for sure, the Bears will never be the same again, and neither will the city that's watching every snap with bated breath. The emotional resonance of the Garrett trade cannot be understated, as it touches on loyalty, identity, and the very essence of what it means to be a fan in a city steeped in football tradition. For Chicago, Garrett represents hope, a tangible embodiment of a team ready to embrace change and compete at the highest level. While in Cleveland, fans grapple with the loss of a player who was both a symbol of defensive dominance and a figure of continuity during years of fluctuating fortunes. Analysts highlight how such trades shape not just games, but narratives, with fans projecting dreams, fears, and expectations onto a single individual whose career trajectory now intertwines with the destiny of two franchises. The move also sparks broader discussions about the human element in professional sports, exploring how players adapt to new cities, systems, and teammates while managing the pressure of heightened expectations, media scrutiny, and personal ambition. Inside both organizations, the trade catalyzes shifts in leadership, morale, and team culture, prompting adjustments that go far beyond the X's and O's of game planning. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.